Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. We got a new one for you today. Excuse me, this is a new width of an Unleashed. This is the 114. So we have a very similar build and overall shape from the Unleashed skis. And we're just moving it into a wider bodied format. So if you didn't think the 98 or the 90, the 98, 108 were wide enough for you, then good news, we got a new 114. We've seen this thing on the top of podiums at Freeride World Tour, so there's definitely a competitive aspect to this. Certainly putting it more in that expert category. It just happens to have a fair amount of weight and width to it that allows it to be floaty and relatively demanding. But we had a really nice time on it. We got on it this spring, so we didn't have winter snow conditions, but got on it in a lot of soft spring snow. And very, very pleased with how well this thing stood up to what we have here in Vermont in terms of spring skiing conditions. So yeah, it is still built with that performance wood core, has one sheet of terrain-specific metal, so full length metal, full width in the very tips and tails and underfoot, and then through the mid-body in the front and in the back, the metal doesn't exist there, so it goes into a central spine, leaving the edges, the sides unencumbered by metal, making it a little bit more playful and drifty. But it still kind of has that same overall feel as Unleashed in terms of a slightly longer camber profile and not quite as much rocker. This is the 180 here, and we'll get this on the scale. It is... That can't be right. I got to tear this thing off. It's definitely not 1,500 grams. Just under 2,000, so 1,980 grams here in the 180. That's not too bad for a ski of this width. It's definitely more that there's a lot of torsional kind of lack of rigidity that it makes it hard to get the ski up on edge and just a little bit more demanding in that regard. It's not so much that the weight is overbearing, but just the width in terms of getting it up on edge, especially on trail. It's a lot of camber for a ski of this width, especially for a twin tip. So interesting to see kind of this new shape and design. But yeah, that longer camber profile, just like we've seen in the other Unleashed skis, give this thing a longer effective edge. So it does end up being quite smooth. It's just a lot of ski to have on the snow at one time. And then we do get this kind of fairly dramatic, abrupt rocker leading to that splay. So not long rocker. Most skis in this 114 freeride category, that rocker starts a lot further down and is a little bit more gradual. This is kind of the opposite with a longer camber and then more dramatic and abrupt rocker and then a nice spoony taper shape as well. So stays on top of snow at the very ends, but isn't quite as drifty in terms of slashing, smearing, kind of what we see from a lot more sideways skiing. This thing's a little bit more direct to the fall line. And then, yeah, nice rounded tail here. And again, with that rocker in the back, decent splay for not having a whole lot of length in the rocker. So that sets this 114 apart from other skis in this range, and not in a bad way, just a little bit different. If you're looking for more edge touching the snow, if you're skiing more technical terrain, kind of more aggressive, bigger lines, that's where this thing comes in handy. 19.4 meter turn radius in the 180, so again, you can be a little bit more on the attacking side of the spectrum. But cool to see this new width in the Unleashed line. Make sure you check out this 114 here at SkiEssentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.